This video is a shortcut to learning how to sing and accompany yourself with the handpan all at the same time. It also happens to be the exact way that I learned how to play without realizing that that's what I was doing. So let's dive straight in. First of all, I want you to load up the handpan chord book that is just at handpanchordbook.com and find a song that you know and love. There will definitely be one on there, but if there's a specific song that you want to learn that isn't on this website yet, then you can drop a request either here in the comments and I'll pass them on, or directly to Rosie. Once you've found a song that you like, you're going to put your handpan scale in and you will see you are given the lyrics to the song with the pan script, which is a visual representation of the chords that you need to play at that point in the lines. First things first, if you don't already know your chords on your instrument, I want you to just sit and learn those. Make sure that you're really comfortable with those chord shapes. And by that I mean, in this song that I'm choosing, there's a C. So I'm just going to sit here and learn how to play that C. Maybe I'll play it up here. And I know that it's that shape because that's what the pan script tells me. There's also a G in here. I know that it's this shape because that's what the pan script tells me. Right, so I just want you to go through those chords and make sure you know them. Once you do know them, practice playing them one after the other, right? So that you can get to know what kind of movements you need to make in order to get to the next place. As we all know, we can only multitask to a certain extent, right? We can't be thinking about what chord am I playing, what's it called, where do I need to go next, how do I get there, oh also there's lyrics and I need to sing, blah 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 blah. We can't be thinking about all of those things at once. So just set yourself up for success here, give yourself a head start and learn those chords first. Once you've got those chords, we're going to skip straight to the chorus of your favourite song. For copyright reasons, I'm going to use one of my own songs. In this case, The Earth Teaches. You can find that on the chord book as well. I'm going to skip to the chorus of this song. And the chorus is, "This is what the earth teaches me. Na 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 na." We don't need to learn the lyrics yet though. Presumably, if it's your favourite song, you'll already know the melody. And what we're going to do is find the chords and just very, very simply, very, very slowly play one chord at a time and practice humming the melody of that song. It says on here that on Earth I need to change chord. So what I'm doing here is I'm eliminating the need to remember any lyrics. I'm just humming the melody. I'm playing very, very simply on the beat. I'm not worrying about any kind of rhythm or special accompaniment, and I'm just humming the melody line. I don't have to worry about remembering any words. The melody should come naturally to me because I already know and have heard this song 1,000 times. And so I can just, do that part. That's the part that comes really humanly and instinctively to us. If this already feels like too much for you, an extra bonus tip is you could just record yourself on your phone playing that simple chord progression over and over again, and then play it back to yourself and then sing over the top. So you don't have to do the two things at the same time, but you're still learning how it all fits together. You can still start to hear and really listen to how what you're singing relates to how the handpan works, right? And then once you've done that a bunch of times, then you can come back to it and try and do the two things at the same time. If that is already too much for you, then take a step back again. Just play the original of your favourite song over and over again while you're cooking or showering or whatever. And just really make sure that you know it. Then try and sing it without it playing to see if you do actually really know that melody, even when there isn't another singer holding you to that melody, right? Sometimes we think we know a song, and then as soon as we have to do the karaoke version of it, we don't. So make sure you're at that point first, right? We're just kind of taking all of the learning steps out as much as we can so that we can just focus on the actual process of how does this actually work? How do we do hands and voice at the same time, right? That's why we need to really know the song first. So I've given myself a very simple accompaniment. I've practiced that away from the handpan, on the handpan, separately and together. Now I can start to experiment a little bit maybe with adding a bit more rhythm. Let's see, what if I just play a few more times per line? Now we're starting to get a little bit of rhythm here. You'll notice as well on the chord book that there is no specific way to play these songs. It doesn't teach you exactly what patterns you should be playing, it just shows you the chords. So you are completely free to do whatever you want with that, however you want to accompany yourself, that's entirely up to you. Okay, so now I've got a bit more of a consistent rhythm. I like it. I'm going to try and sing the words now and see how that works. This is what the earth teaches me. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. This is what the earth teaches me. Oops. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Alright, so apparently despite touring that song for the last 5 years, I still don't know how it goes, so I need to practice that a little bit more. Then, you've got two options here. Once you're really comfortable with that chorus, you can either take that same idea and move towards the verses and start to learn the rest of the song chunk by chunk, or you can stay with this chorus and see if you can introduce even more complexity into what you're playing. For instance, a pattern that I really like looks like this. One hand keeping the pulse, and I've got one hand playing a bit of a groove. If you want to go more in depth on this, I'll post a link to a video at the end of this one so that you can learn that. But let me just show you what that then looks like. Okay, so I practiced this little rhythmic element, and then, now that I've hummed and whatever the song, I can start to put those two things together. I can take that to the rest of the song. About song arrangement is that typically you don't want anything really fancy happening at the same time that lyrics are happening or a vocal line is happening, because that's just going to override and messy up what you're trying to, the story that you're trying to tell. So you actually want to keep it simple as an arrangement anyway. So that means you don't have to learn anything super complex. That's the beauty of it. And then as you start to get more comfortable, you know, you can insert a little solo moment into your song, whatever you want. A big thing to look out for as well is once you start to put the humming in together with this rhythm, if you're struggling with it, see if you can really break down, okay, when I sing that note, my hands are doing this. Da, 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 da. You know, break it down and see what's happening at what point that the lyrics come in. The chord book is really useful for this as well, because the chord changes happen directly above the word that they should happen at. So you can see how that's all connected. But yeah, just take your time with it, and then once you've learned that song, for me, when I was learning, I wasn't necessarily worried about completely mastering each song. Although sometimes I was, because I just loved the song so much I wanted to play it over and over and over again, so it just happened that way. But really take the time to try a bunch. You know, once you've learned one, then another one, and then another, and then another, and in doing so, you're learning all of these different muscle memory shapes and all that kind of stuff. You're practicing singing in different ranges and different styles. You're having fun while doing it, because being playful really is the most important part. That's what it's all for, right? That's why we're here. Then once you've got your foot in the door, you've been a little bit playful, you've tried a few things out, you've started singing and playing, then you can start taking a little bit more seriously, looking into how to use your voice properly, finding some different exercises and warm-ups to improve and dive a little bit deeper. If you are interested in that, I do have a course. It's called Playful Voice. It's all about singing and playing with the handpan. There are 3 songs on there that I wrote specifically for the course to kind of take you through a step-by-step process. And it goes from an easier song all the way through to something more complex. So if you do want to dive in, check that out. I'll put a link in the description. Otherwise, if you want to carry on learning the Earth Teachers and figure out a nice rhythm for it, you can do that over here. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you very, very soon. Happy singing!